Mark Zuckerberg got a 30-year mortgage in July 2012 for the $5.95 million price tag on his Palo Alto mansion, which is located just 3 miles from Facebook headquarters. He was worth an estimated $15.6 billion at that time, making him the 40th richest person in the world while he was only 28 years old. Meanwhile, why go into debt if you have billions of dollars? He could buy a dozen of homes for $6 million each with no trouble at all. The complete and detailed response is somewhat lengthy, but to put it simply, it's free money. Sounds absurd because who would give a billionaire free money? Well, the answer is simple, which is interest rates. Now, if you want to learn more how Mark Zuckerberg did this and made quite a profit from debt, then this video is right one for you. This is The Financial Bridge, and before we go on, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button to keep yourself updated with more of our financing and personal investment content. But other than that, let's get back to the video. Now, with an annual inflation rate in the United States of between 2.5 and 3%, any funds borrowed at a rate lower than this amount are effectively interest-free. The interest rate on Zuckerberg's mortgage is slightly over 1.05%, but it is adjustable, so it could go up in the future depending on the market conditions. Since the mortgage rate is less than the rate of inflation, the bank comes out on the losing end of this deal. Anyone can do the arithmetic. You don't have to be a genius. Say you borrow $1 million at a 1% interest as an illustration. The savings account yields an average of 2.4% annually. In other words, even if you put $1 million in a different bank, you'll still make $24,000 each year after paying back the loan, while still just paying the bank $10,500 per month. Visualize doing that with hundreds or even billions of dollars. If you have access to free borrowing, there's no reason to keep your own money in the bank when you could be putting it to better use elsewhere. Of course, this may not make sense when discussing relatively modest quantities of money because the difference isn't that great. However, when discussing significant numbers, tinkering with 1, 2, or even 0.5% may potentially imply tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds. If you were a successful businessman and can afford a $1 million home outright, you may be wondering why you should spend that much money on a house when you can finance it for 1% or 2%, and use the rest of your money to invest in your business and get returns of 10, 20, or even 30%. If you don't want to put in the effort to research better ways to invest your money, you can still do better by simply putting it all into an index fund. Even more so if the time frame is 20 or 30 years. An index fund on average has returned 8% annually over the long term. The difference between the interest you pay on a mortgage and the returns you earn from an index fund is pure profit. The deciding factor is the opportunity cost. Zuckerberg might get a mortgage with an interest rate of 1%. Therefore, it wouldn't make financial sense to him to pay cash for the house. However, he is not the only one with such a brilliant idea. To buy a $20 million home, for example, Elon Musk might have to sell a sizable portion of his stake in Tesla and SpaceX, pay taxes and other fees, and still come out ahead. On the other hand, he could accept free money and make the monthly payment manageable. He has 5 California residences insured by a $61 million mortgage, and his monthly payment is $180,000. Not only do really wealthy people do that, but so do others like Jay-Z and Beyoncé who are just plain rich. They used a mortgage to finance the purchase of their $88 million mansion. They only put down 40%, so they had to get financing for the remaining $52.8 million. That puts their new monthly payment at $149,600. The median price of a home in the United States is $200,700. Instead of stowing away $53 million in a mansion, he has the confidence to invest it where he can get the most return. He is well on his way to becoming a millionaire, thanks to his many wise investments. The more money you have, the more creative ways you can think of to make more. The average mortgage rate in the country is around 3%. But even if you qualify for a loan at that rate, it still isn't a good financial decision to buy a home. However, let's clarify this first. The remainder of the population pays a higher rate than the super rich. So why is that? First of all, when you're a billionaire, the bank doesn't have to lose sleep over your possible inability to repay your mortgage. If the worst should happen, you can simply liquidate some of your assets to cover the shortfall. Typical workers, on the other hand, risk losing their jobs or being absent due to illness. Second, if you make your mortgage payments on time each month, your credit score will rise, making it easier to obtain a loan from financial institution in the future should the need arise. You are doing what amounts to gaining the financial institution's trust. The converse is also possible, of course. When banks give a low interest rate on the mortgage, they're trying to build a relationship with wealthy customers, so that when those customers' businesses need a loan, they will go to that bank rather than one of their competitors. In this case, everyone benefits. These historically low mortgage rates, however, are flexible and subject to increase. No one needs to worry though, since even if the economics stop making sense for the uber wealthy, they can always just pay their mortgage. However, most people view that negatively due to the fact that most of the time, we borrow money for leisure purposes when we can't afford them. As a matter of fact, the moment you graduate from college and take stock of your student loan obligations and the number of years you'll need to work to pay them off, you form the impression that debt is bad, especially when there is no way to even fall back on it. Debt is a very dangerous game to play, because even slight error can have massive repercussions. In fact, we've gotten so far in the hole that most of us can't even afford an unexpected $500 bill now due to all the monthly payments we've managed to rack up. But that's what sets bad debt apart from the good debt. The use of debt or leverage may either destroy your life, leave you without a home, and wreak havoc on your family's financial stability, or make you incredibly wealthy if you play your cards right. If used properly, power and influence can provide instant wealth. For example, let's assume you purchase this phone for $10,000 and then resell it for $11,000. Congratulations! You've just made a $1,000 profit, although a small one. But supposing you go to a bank and borrow $990,000, adding your own $10,000 brings the total to $1 million. This is called leverage. You go to your vendor and immediately purchase 100 phones at $1 million, which you then resell for $110,000. However, you still have a debt to the bank, so you return to pay back the original loan of $990,000, plus the additional $10,000 in interest. You may now count on having exactly $100,000 remaining. Net profit after deducting your personal investment of $10,000 is $90,000. Making money that way is how to make money when you don't have any. Both you and the bank reap the benefits of the transaction's success. Naturally, when this formula is taken to an extreme and not regulated by the government and practiced by everyone on Wall Street, it turns into a financial crisis, as happened in 2008. Do you remember when real estate prices dropped? And then they brought the whole economy crashing down with them? So why did this happen? It's because investment banks overestimated their ability to earn through the use of debt, which ultimately led to their demise. It is because they started giving out mortgages to people who didn't have the finest credit and couldn't afford the payments. Mortgage payments, which was a nightmare for investors after 40 years of rising property values. Well, we don't delve into the specifics of the 2008 financial catastrophe here, but finance remains an important tool for the rich. It's dangerous, and you might lose everything if you are not careful. But savvy investors can make a fortune very quickly. Now, this video has come to an end, and we thank you so much for watching. We hope this video provided you the information you needed, and we would very much appreciate it if you can kindly give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of the Financial Bridge, then just simply click the subscribe and notification button to stay tuned. Once again, thanks for watching and we'll see you on our next video.